very well. He needs it. Now to our next story, which takes us to Abuja. You know, Abuja, a planned city, officially became Nigeria's political capital on December 12, 1991. This is backed by law. Hence, no plan to move the capital back to Lagos. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, has refuted the rumor that President Bola Tinubu plans to relocate the federal capital to Lagos. As far as Onanuga is concerned, there is no iota of truth in the allegation by mischief makers. They are simply bent on fueling needless ethnic mistrust, just to pit the North against the South. Did you hear that?
Yes. You know, one thing is that we need to look at this issue, with very broad perspective.
Yeah.
When I read the responses of some of our northern brothers, for the first time I asked myself, when the capital was moved from Lagos by decree in 1976, we had the innocent assumption that was done in good faith. Because two things were taken into consideration by the Abuja committee. First was that they wanted a place that had
a virgin land.
That had no dominant ethnic group, a dominant culture. They also wanted
sorry, remember the first original place was Gwagwalada.
Yeah, Abuja recommended so many cities, and then the Supreme Military Council picked Abuja out of. They even recommended Agege, who was far from Lagos at that time, was part of the recommendation. And they wanted a place that was central, that anybody can. And we all Nigerians were accepted it in good faith. That move the capital. Up till now, compensation has not been paid to Lagos. Even though when the capital was moved from Bonn to Berlin,
it was supposed to have been paid.
Pay compensation. That's what is done. In Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro to Brasilia,
yeah.
You pay a lot of compensation. But the state and people endured it. But for the first time, I'm now having a rethink. If you are now saying that there are 24 ministries, and over 95% of them are in Abuja, and each ministry has parastatals. We have about almost 45 parastatals. The Ministry of Justice alone has about 9 departments. Then the Ministry of Finance has about 9 parastatals, all of them in Abuja. And when people are now saying that, I never had the impression that
all of them
Abuja,
all of them in Abuja healthy.
Yes, all of them in Abuja. Majority of
a healthy development.
We just say we accepted it in good faith.
Okay.
But for people to now be saying that, coming out to read ethnic, that means you are now raising the consciousness that the idea of even moving the capital in 1976 was actually there was a hidden agenda. That's the impression we are being given. Because if out of 24 ministries, just one parastatal, not even a ministry, and then some departments in CBN have been moved back to Lagos, what are we talking about? And you are raising all these doors. And people are even talking about research. What if people now insist on research only? We are just talking about moving of a little out of 24 ministries, just parastatal, and then you are raising these doors. And something also came to my mind that, look, I saw my good friend, Shetima, Arewa, all of them making statements. So it means some people are behind this, just this little tinkling. And I believe that as a country, we need to understand we're a plural society. Look at South Africa. They have actually one capital, Pretoria, but the working capital, there are 3. The Constitutional Court, which is like the Supreme Court, is in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
The Parliament is in Cape Town. The Judiciary is in Bluffington. Look at Netherlands, Amsterdam and Hague. Amsterdam is the administrative headquarters. The Hague is the seat of government. Even Bonn, after it moved to Berlin, after the merger of South and West, a lot of head offices, the Ministry of Defense, Health, Education, they remain in Bonn for convenience, for administrative purposes. And even look at in UK, there are some departments that are in Leeds, some are in London. So I believe that what are we talking about? That you are just moving some ministries, and there are some headquarters that are not even in Lagos. Look at NECO. NECO is in Minna. It's not in Abuja, and nobody is complaining. So, of course, there have been so many. Look at what we have in Kaduna. The Ministry of Defense, the military school, the Air Force in Makurdi, Armor, this thing in Bauchi. Nobody is complaining.
NIPS in Jos.
Because we see ourselves, the one in Kuru, even police college in Kano, we accepted it in good faith. But just a few departments, people are now saying, they want to bring that, and important people for that matter. Yeah. So I'm alarmed that it seems some people don't see us as one, even though many of us insist that we are one country. You can have some capitals in Port Harcourt, or Calabar. If for administrative purposes, those things are more meaningful. So I'm really shocked that statesmen can go into this level. And it's giving us impression that there's a hidden agenda, but the idea of even moving the capital to Abuja, that they didn't tell us the full story.
Today, at the time, this, according to Thomas Paine, these are times that try men's souls. And so you are bound to read so many meanings into it. At the time, Calabar was the capital of Nigeria.
Yes, definitely.
Moved to Lokoja.
Yeah, from Lokoja to Lagos. Then Calabar to Lagos, yeah?
Yeah, and so now the politics of Nigeria is telling me about a north and a south divide.
Well, but I think from the thinking of a lot of people that have responded, my own conclusion is that either we overrate the thinking faculty of certain people in Nigeria, or that we perceive them to be intelligent people. Because when you want to defend this kind of, you want to go against the kind of decision, which is purely economic decision, you have to be rational in your analysis and your thinking. Like, for instance, now, about 3 weeks ago, the Minister for Interior has to raise an alarm that, how can you ask women who want to effect a change in their national identity card, ask them to travel from Lagos or from all parts of Nigeria to Abuja to have a change, a little thing, a country of 200 million.
Well,
Number two,
when the states can take care of that.
When the state can take care of that. Number two is that to register a simple company, you have to travel all the way from Lagos. Do you know that in 1999, it was President Olusegun Obasanjo who ordered the Maritime Ministry to move back to Lagos? They transfer Maritime Ministry from Lagos, that is a sea coast. There is no sea in Abuja, so there is no economic reason in their argument at all. And I want to believe that no matter how dangerous their utterances are, they should not be taken serious. Serious in the fact that, are we running Nigeria like a fiefdom? Are we not running Nigeria as a political state that belongs to some people, or we are running Nigeria as a purely economic state? Look at New York. Till tomorrow, New York is the financial capital not only of America, but of the whole world. You and I know that in year 2022, the IGR of Lagos State alone is about 656.1 billion naira, which is 70% of all the IGR in all the states in Nigeria. Is it possible for you? Can the Abuja survive without all the industries that were here? It cannot survive. Abuja is being sustained by all parts of Nigeria. It is not the money from Abuja, because when you remove the ministry from Abuja and you remove some banks, central bank, there's nothing in Abuja. What are they producing? So economically, it is not even justifiable to say that. And all what the central bank governor was saying, that all these 5 departments, they conduct their affairs basically is in Lagos, because the headquarters of the major financial institutions are based in Lagos. It is easier for people to transfer business with them.
But let's look. Let's look at the speculation that the president is planning to move the capital back to Lagos. Is it tenable? How do you rationalize that?
That is not...
sorry, because you are asking that some departments of the CBN and the headquarters of the FAAN should return to Lagos.
I think that is it's an extreme posture. It's verbal terrorism. Because we are talking about 1 or 2 parcels, and then you are saying that... but you see, one thing, let us not lose sight of this important thing, that those northern leaders, those people from the north, I give kudos to them. They stand for their people. They defend their people. They don't hide their feelings. That is, no matter whether it is negative or positive, it's something that is value added. What are our own lawmakers? What are they doing?
Okay, you're talking north-south now.
Yeah, I'm talking about those who are even talking about that. They are even concerned about the interest of their people, whether it is over-exaggerated, but at least they are speaking out. They are saying that even the budget does not favor them. We are our own legislators, but they did not speak the past 8 years. the other courts did not complain about the budget. That means it favored them. You know, but our own senators and also that claim from the south, where are they? If they are actually representing, what is the network between us and them? Because if the people appear agitated, that look, you know, we want to preserve our interests and all that, it has its own good aspect. However, Abuja, to me, should not be seen as a property of anybody. It should be seen as something belonging to us. And if they want to move a few parasata to Calabar, to Port Harcourt and all that, I think it should be seen as something that is done for administrative convenience. I don't think anybody should be opposed to it.
Tunde, again, I'm worried about this north-south thing. In a 21st century Nigeria, very close to 64 years of, some would say, a flag and anthem independence, we're talking this way?
Well, I think it is because people who present themselves as the leaders of the people, they are actually talking for themselves. Because the issue is that an average northerner, they are more concerned about their welfare. Yeah. But people are not talking about the welfare of the average northerner on the street. It is the political elite. The guy who called himself, I'm very sorry to say that the Yerima is the leader of the northern youth. He knows that the guy was born in Agege. He grew up in Agege, Lagos. It was really June 12th that a lot of people came up and said they were talking Nadeko. And now you lift yourself up, claiming to be talking for northerners. Then you now ask yourself, how many voters or how many people can these people come out? They now reduce a serious national issue to personal or political issue. It means it's unfortunate that our political elite, they are making us incapable of emerging from an ethnic divided nation to a one nation. Because anything that is done is in the interest of Nigeria. And mind you, throughout the 8 years that President Buhari was there, all the notable institutions in Nigeria were moved to Abuja. It only means maritime resources that was not moved to Abuja because Obasanjo had said they should stay in Lagos. FCAA, all their facilities were in Lagos. They moved them to Abuja when they had no single office in Abuja.
And the busiest,
and they have to,
the busiest airport in Nigeria
is in Lagos. So let us look at, which means all those people have been ruling Nigeria. Why Nigeria is in problem is that people look at political or ethnic consideration to run Nigeria rather than a business entity that must survive. Mark you, in 1914, the North and South was amalgamated in order to make it for the British to be able to combine the resources from the North and South together, because South is making more money, more revenue for the British colonial office. So they don't want to be bringing money from home office to run Nigeria. So they merged North and South together, not looking at the political consideration. And that was why they were able to run Nigeria as a country then. So the thing now is that in the 21st century, we should forget about ethnic sentiments. Because what matters is the well-being of the average man on the street, either in Kaduna, Abeokuta, Uyo, or Kavansha.
Yeah.
They should not be, so-called leaders, elite leaders, should not be aggravating and talking about, because it's about themselves. It's not about the people.
Well, at a time like this, we are wondering where our statesmen and women are. Yeah. Where are they?
Yeah, I think it raises a lot of questions, because when you look at the positions we are talking about, you know, people came from political divides. You know, they put aside their, you know.
Yeah.
But I think at the center of this is the issue of the kind of future we want to build for Nigeria, the kind of structure we want to build for Nigeria, and whether we are ready to accommodate each other, whether we are ready to listen to each other. So that at the end of the day, we are going to have a nation that is built on trust, that an Efik man and a Shekiri man, we have trust in that country. An Agas person, Birom, TV, you know, Zuru, from the north, they will have confidence. Look, my interest is well represented in this country. Not a country that is seen as the property of a few.
And so the last thing I want to drop concerning this story is simply that, according to the special advisor to Mr. President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, there is no truth in the